They took our passports and we're waiting till they give us the passports back.
So that's a positive development for this American woman and her young son. They've crossed the Gazan side of the crossing. They're now on the Egyptian side being processed.
Now, he's near the Gaza border where Israeli forces push deeper, battling Hamas in tunnels. As for the attacks on buildings at a refugee camp,
Hamas puts their tunnel network and command centers underneath those buildings. But we should be very critical of the strikes here, and we are asking questions to the Israeli military about how many civilians they knew were there.
Officials in Gaza say the deaths there are now part of a total of 9,061 Palestinians killed since Israel started waging war after the terror attacks. 18 Israeli soldiers have been killed in Gaza, and Israel's up the number of hostages Hamas is holding 242. House Republicans could vote today to approve $14 billion in military aid to Israel.
Even if the bill passes the House, the White House has said President Biden would veto it. Instead, the president wants to see Israel aid passed as part of a $106 billion package that includes aid for Ukraine.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz also in the House, an attempt to censure Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib.
She has been mimicking and parroting Hamas talking points. She refuses to correct her misinformation and terrorist propaganda.
But while Congresswoman Elise Stefanik voted in favor, 23 of her fellow Republicans sided with Democrats, tabling the Tlaib censure. The House also rejected an attempt to expel Congressman George Santos over lies the Republican told voters that led to criminal indictments. For the first time, the Texas Rangers celebrating a World Series title.
This is what you work your whole life for, and we accomplished our goals, and I'm so proud of this team.
Catcher Jonah Heim after Texas's 5-0 Game 5 win over Arizona on Fox to win the World Series. America's listening to Fox News.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Israel's war against Hamas has led to increased concerns about the potential for a terror attack here in the U.S. The FBI director warned us about that this week. Attorney General Merrick Garland says
the Justice Department has no tolerance for violence or unlawful threats of violence fueled by anti-Semitism or Islamophobia.
After a series of pro-Palestinian protests on college campuses, a Cornell University student is facing charges of threatening Jews.
21-year-old Patrick Dye appeared in federal court in New York, handcuffed and wearing an orange jumpsuit. His parents were in court as well. Prosecutors wanted a detention hearing, calling him a flight risk, but Dye waived that. He did not enter a plea on charges of making threats to kill or injure another using interstate communications and is due back in court in mid-November. Dye's parents previously told the New York Post their son had been experiencing deep depression. Law enforcement found him in his apartment after tracking his IP address. He had written on a university Greek forum about wanting to kill, rape, and behead Jews. The Broome County Sheriff said Dye was being watched closely in jail for his and their safety. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
In Maine, after there was a massacre a week ago, a push for an independent commission to investigate.
Governor Janet Mills says she wants the commission to not only determine the facts and circumstances of the October 25th Lewiston shootings that killed 18 people at a bowling alley and bar, but also the police response to them. She also wants the group to look at the months leading up to the event, including the mental health of the gunman, Robert Card, citing the concerns that were brought to the attention of his Army Reserve unit and law enforcement officials in both Maine and New York.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. President Biden will go to Lewiston, Maine tomorrow to meet with survivors and victims' families. On Wall Street, stock futures have been rising the day after big gains following the Fed's decision not to raise interest rates again for now. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois State Police releasing a video showing a state trooper being shot last week in Springfield. Police say the footage shows Cristobal Santana of Chicago pulling out a gun and firing shots at trooper Dakota Chapman Green during the stop. Santana then severely beat the trooper with a gun and drove away before being arrested a couple of hours later. He's been charged with attempted murder. Several lawmakers in southern Illinois challenging the state's sanctuary status. Legislators sponsoring a bill that would repeal the Trust Act. House Republican floor leader Patrick Windhorst and State Representatives Dave Severin and Paul Jacobs issued a joint statement saying the Trust Act has been disastrous. They claim 628,000 undocumented immigrants reside in the state. Champaign police investigating after a swastika put on a tree in Mattis Park. The hate symbol discovered by a passerby early yesterday in the 600 block of Devonshire Drive. Anyone with information, please contact Champaign Police. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, thank you, Jim, and a good Thursday morning, my friends. ESPN 93.5. It is November 2. Our weather with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you this morning by the Urbana Park District.
Boy, they have some terrific fall programs and getting into the winter. So if you need more details, just visit urbanaparks.org.
Mr. Greg Solier, that was Diane Ducey. I am Stevie Jay, and it's great having Mr. Weatherman. We're going to fall back on the clocks here in 2 days, sir. It's going to get darker, shorter daylight, all that stuff. I can't imagine living in Anchorage. Hey, what is all daylight or all dark? Come on. Woo, that'd be
hard. Or those northern Scandinavia countries. I wouldn't mind the summer sun, but it's the winter that would get me.
No, it'd be dark all the time. All right, my friend, what are you seeing out here?
Yeah, well, we're in relatively good shape around here. A little uptick in swing in temperatures over the next couple of days, and allowing, I guess, one and all to continue forth to enjoy some of the lingering evening sun around here as it stands, and even some harvest opportunities if things are firming up back out there on the back 40. A couple of weather systems in sight for next week, none of which are getting me all excited about significant moisture totals across the area. So we press forward. There'll be another little cool off in temperature readings around here the second half of next week. But apart from that, the main storm track expected to evolve here over the deep south and southeastern states here in the coming days and weeks. Good news with water levels down there and dryness and drought. Not much opportunity to get any significant recharge farther north into the Mississippi River Valley. Out the door this morning, not quite as chilly as recent mornings, down to 29 though at Rantoul, 27 Bloomington, normal 31 at the Kankakee, to 36 at St. Louis. Over at Willard now 30 on a correct wind out of the south. Mostly sunny, not quite as chilly for the day today. That breeze picking on up out of the south. 54 the expected high. Partly cloudy for tonight, and sundown, by the way, if you keep track of that, 5:49. The overnight low down to 36 for the day. Tomorrow, windy, partly sunny, 57. That's on target for an average typical November 3rd here across East Central Illinois. 62, not bad on a dry, partly sunny Saturday. A few sprinkles around on Sunday, not a complete wash, and high temperature about 63. Remember the earlier sunset at that point and going forward. 64 Monday with a couple of rain showers may linger into Tuesday. Quarter inch of stuff out of this, I think, at best, so we can work and play through that. 50s, though, return for Tuesday, and we're stuck in the low to mid 50s for highs next Wednesday, and Thursday, maybe a little more rain back in the forecast for late next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
John Schweppe, that's how I'm saying it, right, John?
That's correct.
Director of Policy and Government Affairs for American Principles Project and a GOP strategist. Well, Christopher Wray, the FBI director, was in front of a committee yesterday, and he was talking a little bit about what the heck's going on with our security on the border. May I play Senator Rick Scott asking the all-important question, and I'm not stopping it. I'm just playing the dead air that our FBI director gave us yesterday.
Do you believe, is the United States safer from foreign terror threats today? Are we safer than when Joe Biden took office, from the day he took office?
Wish I could show his eyes. Blink, 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 blink.
What I would say to you
10
is
seconds. 10 seconds of dead air, John. 10 seconds, and if I counted 12 blinks and about 7 eyeball, like, oh crap.
He had to think about it.
No, he's got his boss.
Okay.
You're asking me if we're safer. The answer is no.
I mean, you can't say that.
The answer is from my big fat Greek wedding. No. May I date your daughter? No. John, it was embarrassing, but it also is extremely urgent that we know that this is a 9/11 kind of alert. We got stuff, and there are people in our country, we don't know anything about them. What say you?
No, I think that's exactly correct. Senator Scott caught him there because the reality is everyone knows that we aren't safe, that things are much worse now, that you look at all around the world, we have, crises popping up everywhere now with the Israel one being the latest. And this is all because of a lack of American leadership. I mean, when you have a president who is quite literally bumbling around the world, who's basically a joke to all these world leaders because he's just not there anymore, it does have an effect. And the other thing, and this is really relevant to Christopher Wray, our agencies are all focused on the wrong things rather than actually keeping Americans safe. They're focused on, parents going to school board meetings, right? And white supremacy and all of these things. They've been talking about anti-Semitism for several years now, but they mean, dorky nerds living in their mom's basement posting on the internet, not the actual, Muslim terrorists who want to actually kill people. And so, we're a lot less safe today. It's funny because of the silence, but it's actually really dangerous, and I think Americans are going to suffer for it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm telling you though, the Joe Biden stuff and all the clips and things, I don't like them. I mean, President Xi is watching this, and so is all the Hamas people. This is really embarrassing, and it's sad. It's a sad human thing, and I don't like seeing Joe Biden up there doing that because, you might say, oh, he's a joke. Well, he's my joke, so shut up. It's still our president, and listen, this is what happens when there is a feel of weak leadership or something going wrong here, and we got it, whether you want to believe it or not. And the only campaign edge they have is you can't vote for Trump. He's the devil. That's it. They got nothing. They got nothing, John.
Yeah, they told us Trump would start World War III. I remember that specifically. They told us you couldn't trust Trump with all of these world leaders. And, we've seen what their expertise on the left has gotten us, and it's been pretty devastating. And so, look, elections have consequences, but this is something people got to consider when they go to the polls next November. Maybe Trump sends mean tweets. Maybe he, isn't the most likable guy to some people. I think he's pretty funny. But, he did a good job for 4 years. We were safer. And I think a lot of people are going to want to go back.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I just know that it's a weird time in America when Robert Kennedy Jr. looks really good to me. Really good to me. I'm telling you, he just showed up in a Quinnipiac poll with 22% in a three-way race. Biden 39, Trump 36, Robert Kennedy Jr. 22. John, do you think that's got legs?
I do. I do think it has legs.
Why does he take more from Trump than Biden, though?
Well, I think right now you have a really divided Republican primary, and you have people who are pretty upset, both at Ron DeSantis and at Trump. Look, when the primary is over, I think the Republicans will come together, and that 22% will go down. But I do think it's a signal, right? I mean, the reality is that a lot of Americans are wishing we had, a better choice. We're going to have two older guys, going at it, two guys who most Americans don't necessarily like. I think people wish there could be another choice, but I don't think Kennedy will finish at 22%. I still think he'll probably end up as like a 3 or 4% when it gets to November.
Wow. Okay. And what about not Kanye West, the other West? Will he get anything from the progressives?
Well, Cornell is he's actually out there marching with the Free Palestine folks, so he's going for that hard left vote, which. These are folks that Biden is struggling with right now because they don't think he's adequately anti-Israel. And so same situation. I don't think it'll be a large percentage, but if Cornell gets on the ballot in key states, it could absolutely make a difference.
I'm telling you, John Schweppe, last question. Where are we in America when we have people supporting not Palestine, Hamas? They're supporting Hamas, a terrorist group that massacred women and children. How can any human say that was fine? I don't get it.
It's wokeism. Wokeism really corrupts your mind. It makes you, it's frankly a cult. But a lot of these people are naive, and they view everything through group identity politics. And so because they hate white people and hate Christians so much, they think that they have to side with the terrorists. You actually don't. You actually don't have to hand it to Al-Qaeda. You don't have to hand it to Hamas. They're the bad guys. We should all be united against them.
Yeah, some of the people, the gays and lesbians and LGBTQ, everybody that is marching for this, they would kill them. They would kill.
Absolutely.
They would kill the wokeism like tonight. It just doesn't make any sense. You guys don't understand. I think it's more. I don't understand. I think it's more of that. They can't be real understanding this thing. They just can't.
No, it's a self-destructive ideology, and look, the good news, and I do believe this, I think that people, it is a fever dream. People are seeing what it is, and I think more and more Democrats are going to be coming out of it in the months ahead.
Yeah. Okay. John Schweppe, how can we connect with you, John?
I'm on Twitter at John Schweppe, and you can check out my organization at AmericanPrinciplesProject.org.
JONSCHWE, Paul E, PPE. Thank you, John. Appreciate it very much. ESPN 93.5 Sports Headlines.
Texas Rangers did it. I mean, wow. 4-1 over Arizona Diamondbacks as far as the games go, but 5-0 yesterday.
Yeah, Zach Gallen, who was a Cardinal pitcher, had a no-hitter going to the 7th inning in a 0-0 game.
Why'd you have to bring that up?
Sorry. 0-0 game in the 7th, and MVP of the World Series, Corey Seager, got it going.
Yeah.
Anyway, first World Series ever for Texas. The Cardinals beat them in 2011 when it looked like they were in position to win. They didn't then. They did now. And it's over. Baseball is over, and now we count it down. It's 82 days till the Cardinal Caravan.
Okay.
Hotel and Conference Center.
We got a reset coming up.
Yep.
Go Cardinals.
Yeah.
Bobby Knight passed away at the age of 83.
Yeah, I have a few thoughts on Bobby Knight. I got to, be at the scores table 20 years.
Yeah.
I watched 20 matchups, Illinois and Indiana. I was in the locker room a few times, in the press room, asked Bobby a question. I watched him get mad at the scores table. I watched him do a lot. And I'll give you my observations on one Bobby Knight here coming up.
1971 through 2000, coaching the Hoosiers, and even brought Team USA some gold back in the day. He was 83. It'll be the Tennessee Titans at Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers tonight in Thursday action. It's Miami and Kansas City in Frankfurt on Sunday morning. The Bears will have New Orleans. We'll have EIU and Illinois on Monday the 6th, and talking with Coach Brad Underwood tomorrow just after 8 o'clock. So tune in here at ESPN 93.5. Dallas over the Bulls in NBA action, 114-105. We had Boston over the Pacers, 155-104. Colorado's Avalanche over the St. Louis Blues in NHL action. That final was 4-1. Parkland beat Bride Stratton College.
Right.
That was awesome. And we had Johnny Newton now in one of the finalists for the Lombardi Award.
All right, he'll miss the first half of the game Saturday, but play the second half. We'll check Greg's weather now.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and vicinity. Nice next couple of days anticipated weather-wise across the area. Temperatures back to and even a bit above seasonal norms. Bit of rain as we move on through the back end of the weekend, early next week as well. Mostly sunny, increasing south wind for the day-to-day. High temperatures up around the 54-degree mark. That south wind 12 to 22, a bit gusty in open areas this afternoon. Not so cold tonight, down to 36. Tomorrow, sun and clouds, healthy south wind. More seasonal highs at about 57. Over the weekend, we'll top into the low and mid-60s Saturday and Sunday. Next weather system may generate a few sprinkles around here. More clouds on Sunday. Don't forget that time change back 1 hour as standard time resumes 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. So Sunday high 63. We'll be into the low to mid-60s on Monday with our best likelihood of some shower activity across the area, and about as cool down here into the middle and late parts of next week. A few sprinkles Tuesday at 54, 52 on Wednesday, near 50 next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Six Flags and Cedar Fair are merging. It's a stock deal worth about $2 billion. The amusement park companies believe they can work together to compete against SeaWorld, Disney, and Universal. Novo Nordisk, the maker of weight loss drug Wegovy, is reporting a more than 50% jump in its profit. Surging demand has created shortages of Wegovy and has some people turning to its diabetes drug Ozempic because the treatments share the same ingredient. The company is restricting the supply of lower strength doses of Wegovy to safeguard supplies for current patients. Eli Lilly made a profit in the recent quarter, but it's lowering its forecast for the year. And the Federal Reserve decided not to raise interest rates yesterday. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
New from the Fox News Podcast Network.
I'm Emily Campagno, and this is the Fox True Crime Podcast.
And I had nothing to do with her disappearance.
I sit down with the people who lived the nightmares.
I was in shock. I was just devastated.
The investigators who tirelessly worked on the case.
And I really hope that they can catch this guy.
Bringing you closer to the story than you ever thought possible.
Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
These are the stories that keep you up at night.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Welcome to Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Hi, I'm looking for a refrigerator.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Oh, yeah, well, I just need a refrigerator. Don't need the whole store.
But you get it, the whole store.
My kitchen is only about this big.
You get me.
Hello.
All those delivery, installation, and service technicians in back.
Wow, all those people?
The Dick Van Dyke 5-10-year protection plan, which means in the unlikely event something goes wrong in the first 5 years, your repair cost is nothing.
Nothing?
10 years parts coverage on the major components.
Looks like I'm getting more than a refrigerator today. How much does this whole store cost?
Nothing.
Come on.
For real. We guarantee to beat any competitor's deal, all that other stuff we talked about, like our service tax.
And your 5-10-year protection plan?
All included.
I'm Dennis Freakin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. And when we say you get the whole store, we mean the whole store. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Are you tired of getting the short end of the stick and always being stuck with cold water for your showers? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing is here to help. With current tax incentives and rebates, you can save up to $900 on a high-efficiency tankless water heater, unlimited hot water, and saving on your energy bills. It seems like the best gift you could give your home. With the current promotion of 0% financing for qualified applicants, you can't afford not to call. 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
All right, ESPN 93.5. So Bobby Knight passes away at the age of 83, and I was working at the scores table at the University of Illinois for about 2 decades, and I got to see 20 games between Lou Henson and Bobby Knight. And I got to tell you, I read Season on the Brink and read about that book that criticized Lou Henson, among others, and how Lou and Bobby were the best of friends. They really were. 78, 79, 80, in those days when Illinois wasn't very good, it was just coming up. But everything kind of changed when Lou started beating Bobby at basketball. It didn't go as well. And so what was Bobby Knight? Bobby Knight was, I think, a brainiac and kind of a genius when it comes to basketball and knowledge of how to win. But he certainly worked off intimidation.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
Kind of a bully, wasn't he?
Classic bully. Lou was asked later about, confronting Bobby Knight in the tunnel, because Bobby Knight was a big fella too. I'd say 6'5", and just a big guy.
Wow.
And so Lou called him a classic bully, which is kind of what he was. There's no doubt about it.
Nicknamed the General.
Yeah. Anyway, so Lou was asked about calling him a classic bully, pretty big guy. He said, I had 2 big policemen by me too.
Okay.
So there is that. So anyway, what was he like? You know what? I honestly, in 20 years of watching him get mad at the official, I got to say, honestly, I never saw a time when he really exploded that I didn't think he was right.
Okay.
He would compliment them on the way down as well, Good call down there.
Mm-hmm.
But he would also intimidate. He came to the scores table when we had a substitute scorer who couldn't have been more than 23 years old. And he's supposed to when you have a substitute. And he didn't substitute the player for Indiana into the game because he was young and made a mistake.
Okay.
And Bobby came over and just screamed at him.
Okay.
The kid this is Bobby Knight. This is a national championship coach.
Man.
So you're sitting there and you're kind of terrified.
Right.
And then Bobby went back to the bench and the game started again. And Bobby Knight turned, folded his arms, and stared this guy down and didn't blink and I kept looking over at him like, I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, man.
He did it for 60 seconds.
I don't like that.
And it was like, oh my gosh, this poor kid, and he was just scared. And so he was a brilliant basketball X's and O's guy, and he had a tremendous career, winning 902 times. I mean, obviously he was great, but the way he went about it and the physicality, he head bumped one of his players, and the whole Neil Reed where he kind of grabbed his throat on video. You saw all of that.
And we talked about would that coaching style stand up in today's standards, and everybody at the table in our supper club yesterday was like, no way.
No, I don't think for a moment.
And he has Army in his background, so maybe it's part of the military.
Well,
style.
he recruited and mentored and taught Mike Krzyzewski from Duke. That was his player.
And he played at Ohio State.
He won a national championship at Ohio State. He also won 2 national championships at the NCAA. He won an Olympic gold with Michael Jordan in 1984.
That's right.
He won
forget about his Texas Tech chapter.
Texas Tech. He won a bunch of games. He won the Pan American Games. He called Michael Jordan the best by far in basketball.
Wow.
As a player.
Okay.
And again, he wasn't observant as much of LeBron James because that was later and he was getting older. I don't know. I just saw a clip of him talking about Michael. Anyway, it's a loss for the basketball world from the standpoint of legend, but he's there. He's in the Hall of Fames and all that. Was his method appropriate? Yeah, you can debate that. But he certainly was based on intimidation. I was in the press room a number of times, and I guarantee you every press guy was nervous about asking the proper question. You just can't. He was nice to me when I said, compare Bruce Douglas and Steve Alford. And he didn't rip me, but he just says, I don't compare players.
Okay. Gotcha.
Didn't know that. I was like 21.
Uh-huh.
But again, Rick Zurak from Channel 17 famously asked, hey, Coach, what do you tell your boys? We just beaten them by 20, 25.
Uh-oh.
Get a shower, get dressed, get on the bus. What the hell do you want me to tell them? You get on them when they get beat. No, when you get on them when they lose, not when you get beat.
Okay.
So in other words, you make mistakes and you lose a game when you shouldn't or you just get beat.
Right.
So we beat them. And a number of times. And so Lou and Bobby never really got along after Lou actually started beating him. But they used to go to dinner all the time.
Yeah.
And the famous black chair that Bobby Knight gave Lou Henson.
Yes.
I believe that's still hanging in the garage from the ceiling. I think it's still there. But I saw it many times.
At the Henson house?
I somebody's garage.
Okay.
Anyway, it was never, they weren't. It wasn't the same after Lou got competitive and started beating Bobby. And probably the greatest win against Bobby Knight was the Nick Anderson shot at Indiana. Tie game 67-67. Stephen Bardo to Nick Anderson. About 30, 40, maybe a 45-foot shot, nothing but net. That was the Flying Illini.
Okay.
In early 89.
Well, this goes into the bio and talks about the three-point shot wasn't adopted until 1986 by the NCAA and how that kind of made his, known for his man-to-man defense and all that.
Yeah, well, he played it, but again, in 2000, it ended. They asked him to resign. He wouldn't. They fired him. So he finally went back in 2020 to Indiana, IU, and came on the court and was actually crying. So Bobby Knight dead at the age of 83. All right, we're coming back. We got something fun Tuesday if you can come. It's iHotel. We're going to tell you about 2024 and some of the cool trips we have on Stevie Jay Travel. That's this Tuesday. Hi, it's Stevie Jay. I want to invite you to Stevie Jay Travel's unveiling of the 2024 travel itinerary. Are you interested? You might as well come. It's free. 10:30 in the morning, Tuesday, November 7th at the beautiful iHotel. Keith from Premier will be there, and he'll kind of identify where you're going to go next year. We got the Albuquerque Balloon Festival. We got a trip to Alaska. We got great
Fleetwood Mac
trains and a
Rumors is
Grand
coming
Canyon
to
trips that you'll be interested in taking a look at and maybe even joining us on an excursion and an adventure next year. 2024 is upon us. We need to start thinking about where you're going. Stevie J Travel, you can go to steviejtravel.com for more information, or just simply come on over to the iHotel and Conference Center on Tuesday, November 7th, 10:30 in the morning, and we'll be excited to share some of the trips we partner with Premier on and some other surprises. Again, it's Stevie J Travel, iHotel, November 7th at 10:30 in the morning. Stevie J Travel. Where do you want to go?
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Israel Defense Forces inching closer to the area around Gaza City, but the fighting is fierce.
The Israelis have had a lot of trouble with the Al-Qassam brigades, Hamas's military wing, popping out of tunnels and firing anti-tank guided missiles and RPGs at their forces. They've also been throwing grenades and engaging those troops in small arms fire.
Fox's Trey Inks in southern Israel, and Trey just reporting as well. A woman from Utah and her son who didn't get out of Gaza yesterday made it to Egypt today using the Rafah crossing. The Biden administration says some 400 people are still stranded in Gaza. Jury deliberations in the trial of disgraced former crypto honcho Sam Bankman-Fried could begin today in a New York City courtroom. His defense team described him as a simple math nerd, no intent to defraud investors, while prosecutors said he built his FTX crypto exchange in a pyramid of deceit in their closing arguments. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. One person dead following a crash in McHenry County over the weekend. Pedro Osorio driving Sunday when he crashed on Route 14 near Dunham Road. He died on scene. That crash is under investigation. A Buddy Guy concert in Champaign is being rescheduled. The show is scheduled to take place November 8 at the Virginia Theater. However, the concert's been rescheduled for June 26 next year due to a medical issue affecting the artist. Fans who already bought tickets for next week's show can use them for the rescheduled performance. Gas service in Clinton down after a pipeline damage yesterday morning. The fire department said on a Facebook page the line located in the area of Route 54 and Miller Street, and that it was damaged when a service crew hit it as of noon yesterday. The gas leak stopped and there's no danger. Local officials are investigating that incident. A reminder, the Macon County Clerk's Office has announced that voter information cards are now being mailed to all registered voters. That's what's happening. You're up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit crossroadscontractorsupplyil.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and this Saturday, and a moderating trend in temperatures getting underway. That'll take us into the weekend and early next week. The next cold front will drop temperatures down to a bit below average, and from time to time over the back end of the weekend and into next week, a little rain will fall, but nothing of major significance with back 40 and backyard work in mind. Mostly sunny for the day today. A bit of a breeze picking up out of the south as the day wears on. Not so chilly this afternoon either. Up to 54. A bottom out tonight at 36 under a partly cloudy sky. Tomorrow, partly sunny, windy, more seasonal highs at 57 on a south wind 15 to 25 miles per hour and gusty. Saturday, partly sunny, 62. Maybe a few sprinkles of rain early and late in the day on Sunday. Don't forget that time change before we retire. Saturday night, highs to about 63 on Sunday. Monday, have 64. A little rain at times. That'll carry into Tuesday at 54. Highs into the lower 50s next Wednesday and Thursday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchis, Greg Solgay.
Thank you, Greg. Our weather brought to you by Carl.
Encourage the women in your life to get their annual mammogram. The earlier diagnosis, the better chances for survival. Mills Breast Cancer Institute at Carl is there for you every step of the way. Learn more at carl.org.
All of our guests appear on the Tapman's Towing phone line. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday. John Decker. John Decker. John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room. Ladies and gentlemen, it is John Decker, Gray, Gray, Gray Television's White House correspondent, national correspondent. Kind of a big deal. How are you, John?
Hey, I'm doing great, Stevie. Hope you're doing well, having a good week as well this week.
Yes, sir. Rick Scott.
Good deal.
I played this earlier in the hour. I want to do it again. Rick Scott, Senator Scott, asking our FBI Director, Christopher Wray, if we are safer under Joe Biden than we were.
Do you believe, is the United States safer from foreign terror threats today? Are we safer than when Joe Biden took office, from the day he took office?
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. So he was blinking a dozen times, and it was a little awkward because he's talking about his boss. Clearly, we're under some duress because we don't know, John. We don't know.
Well, it's interesting you say he's his boss because, yes, Joe Biden, if he wished to do so, could fire the FBI director, just like Donald Trump fired James Comey. But having said that, he doesn't really report to Joe Biden. He's got a 10-year term, and he's in the midst of that 10-year term. I think it's a difficult question to answer. I mean, I'm not making excuses for the FBI director, but there's so many parameters to ask. I'm curious if I hope you have the bite of how he answered that question, because it's just a difficult question to answer. Do you have that bite?
I have the beginning of the bite.
What I would say to you is that the terror threats have elevated.
That's what he said. But I think if you look at the numbers, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're right. Factually, I don't know. But if you have 151 known on the terrorist watch list that are in our country versus 0 in 2019, I would speculate that there's a chance that we do have more of a threat. But again, until something happens, I guess you can't say definitively. But right now, with all that's going on with this anti-Israel stuff and anti-Jewish stuff, there's reason to be very cautious because not everybody that hears the spoken word is sane. They are not mentally right, and they might go stab somebody out of it like they've done already.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that was one of the reasons why the FBI director, Christopher Wray, spoke about what he's seen in terms of the rise in anti-Semitism across the country in particular. He knows things that we do not know, and I think he chooses his words very carefully when he speaks. And here he was before Congress under oath, and that makes me concerned because, again, he did say that, but, to say just that statement means he knows a lot out there in terms of FBI intelligence and intelligence that's conducted from people who wish to do harm to others. So, yeah, you're right. This is a very concerning time in our country.
Well, I mean, too, what would you ever do if you're law enforcement anywhere of a lone wolf? You can't stop that.
Yeah.
You can't stop
That's
it.
right.
There's too many
people.
people.
You can't. Absolutely. I mean, look, different set of circumstances, but look at Maine, in terms of what happened there just a few weeks ago. And, President Biden will travel to Maine tomorrow. These types of trips, they are so tough. I was with President Obama when he went down to Charleston, South Carolina. You remember the mass shooting in that church?
Yep.
I was with President Trump and the aftermath of that mass shooting at the synagogue in Pittsburgh. I mean, these are happening too regularly in our country, and it's just one of those things that unfortunately is a fact of life that presidents now have to contend with.
Well, I don't think we ever thought that the country and Nikki Haley threw out 1 out of 3 have mental problems, and that's a lot of people.
Yeah, that would be that is. I don't know where that number comes from, but look, it's happening in small communities like Lewiston, Maine.
Yep.
I mean, probably never heard much about Lewiston, Maine before this mass shooting. It's happening in urban areas like Pittsburgh. It's happening in every pocket of the country. No community is immune to what we're seeing happening with those mass shootings.
Okay, so we've got an election, is what I'm hearing, in 2024.
We do. Do you realize, Stevie, next year at this time, where we'll be in the election cycle? Well, we'll be in the final week of the election cycle. It's going to be it'll be here before you know it.
I mean, this is the weirdest, most unbelievable proposed presidential matchup. I don't want Joe Biden to debate. I don't want Joe Biden to speak in public. I feel it's more a human empathy of a guy that you'd see at the nursing home. I'm sorry. It's not very good, and I don't want him out there because now I'm feeling more the human element of this guy. It's a sad state of where we're all headed north of with our age. But it's not good, and I'm not buying Trump versus Biden. I still don't buy that, John. I know it's getting late.
I love that you feel that way, and you're going to be the brilliant one out there, because who knows? It's not going to be Trump versus Biden this time next year, and you'll play that clip back because you said it so often. But we'll have to wait and see. As things stand today, as you know, if you're a betting man, you're betting that it's going to be that rematch in 2024. That's what I think is going to be the case, but you never know. On both sides, you just never know, and a lot can happen between now and next year at this time.
But you're not voting for Joe Biden. You'd be voting against Donald Trump. There's no way you can get a.
But that's what happened in 2020.
Yeah,
too,
but
right?
even then, you go back to 2020, and I did to look at the clips. That was a different man.
Yeah.
Joe Biden was he was slower. But you go back to 2012 and watch him against Paul Ryan, it's like, criminy, this guy's pretty good.
I don't think anybody should be running after 70. I know Trump is 77 and Biden is 80. Yeah. I just feel like, how can we cap this off?
They have to legislate that. They have to allow us to do term limits and or age out, and they're not going to do that. Because, Johnny, you lose half the chamber if you said 80's the number. 80.
Yeah, well,
come
that's
on.
Right.
Not half.
Or what Diane just said, 70. My gosh, you'd have the whole House of Representatives gone practically.
Yeah,
my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Listen,
my vote is 70 and under.
If you get into power and you're making coin and everybody loves you and fawns over you and everybody has a camera in your face, you just don't give that up. Republican or Democrat. This is cool. Yeah. You're somebody. My driver's out there, right? My driver's out there. Protection. Listen, the thing.
There are exceptions to the rule, though. I mean, Patrick Leahy. Remember him? Senator from Vermont. Yeah. I think if you look it up, if you Google it, I bet he's the same exact age as Joe Biden. And he gave it up. He said, you know what, I want to spend time with my grandkids. He realized, I could probably still do this job, but I'm going to leave the stage and, pass the baton to someone younger. Yeah. So he's done it. It's been done before.
Well, the thing with Patrick Leahy, his grandkids are 40. Come on, man.
That's true.
A little late to spend time with the grandkids. Come on, man. Hey,
all right,
listen,
great
we are. This is, to me, we're struggling. The country has so many issues. We're so divided. We got wokeism that is permeating as a virus. Because I don't understand how a human being, no matter what, cannot just. It's fine to support Palestine and whatever occupy whatever you want to say, but you can't support Hamas. You can't support and not blast the massacre. That's just wrong. And yet we have that. And they're not supporting Palestine. They're supporting Hamas. I don't get that. I just don't understand.
That's nutty. When you have, and we were seeing it on college campuses in particular. College president puts out a statement in which he condemns the terrorist activity of Hamas, that the brutal killing of innocent people in Israel. And he's attacked by faculty members. How dare you, attack Hamas? Yeah. It's just a weird world that we live in right now.
Okay, so Mike Johnson, new Speaker of the House. He sounds very, very smart. He has a nice voice, which I think in politics actually matters.
That's important. Yeah, absolutely.
I really do. And I think I think Barack Obama was greatly helped by the Timbers vote. I think it's a very, very good voice.
Sure.
So where are we? Have the Republicans really coalesced around Mike Johnson, the new Speaker?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't think he's, in the same precarious position that Kevin McCarthy was, even after Kevin McCarthy was elected as the House Speaker. It seemed to me it was just a matter of time before he was challenged in terms of his speakership. Not the case with Mike Johnson, but now he's got a difficult task at hand because about this aid package that President Biden has sent up to the Capitol. The Senate wants to have an aid package that includes funding for Ukraine and Israel, and the aid package to send it to President Biden's desk for his signature. Mike Johnson says, we just want to have an aid package that funds aid to Israel. And what was that?
No, go ahead. Aid package that they want to just bundle it, and the Republicans want to say, let's take this one bite at a time, right?
Yeah, that's right. And so, look, one party controls the House, another party controls the Senate. You got to figure out, what can get passed right now, and maybe it is just aid to Israel. I don't know, but you can't have this standoff that's taking place. We have divided government. You have to work together. So we'll see what happens. And it's not like you can just wait and wait and wait. I mean, you're talking about aid that definitely does need to get to Israel when you're talking about an attack on its very survival.
Why not do it separately? It's like, honey, we have a budget. We're going to put the car payments here, but let me put the bouncy houses of the kid's birthday in it too. Why not be more specific if you can? Just have a separate vote, because there's a different feeling for Israel than I think there is for Ukraine from the public.
Well, it's a really good point that you make, and it's a good analogy that you make. I think that you could argue by putting all of it together, aid to Israel, aid to Ukraine, money for border security, money to deal with protecting Taiwan. You put it all together, and for some people, there are poison pills in there, and that may be the reason why it's this big bundled aid package as opposed to just dealing with each issue separately.
Well, they're throwing in other things, too. If California needs a building for something over in that corner. I mean, it just doesn't – all that stuff's always happened. I've never understood it. I understand it, but I don't think it's right. But it's just so much money. You just throw it in there so I get my thing so I get reelected. Yeah. Constant effort. All right, John Decker on the Tapman's Towing phone line, just a couple more minutes. Big things on the horizon for you in the next week and a half. Do you have any idea? Do you know that far ahead what you're doing?
I do. So next week, I think Monday of next week, I will travel. I don't even know where it's going to be, but I'm going to travel with President Biden. That's going to be on Air Force One. He's going to be traveling up to Maine on Friday. He's coming out to your state. He's going to be in Illinois next Thursday. But I think it's on Monday that I'm traveling with President Biden. And then 2 weeks from now, I'm going to be in San Francisco for the APEC summit with the president, and that is going to be a summit in which President Biden will meet once again face-to-face with President Xi of China. So that's going to be a pretty consequential meeting that will take place in just 2 weeks' time.
Okay. I wonder how that'll look. They have people. Does President Xi even speak English at this point? I don't know.
I don't know. I know Putin speaks a little, but they generally speak in their native tongue. So,
okay,
so
how valuable in history have interpreters been? Remember the guy that walked around with Gorbachev and Reagan? I mean, that guy he held the peace in his hands. The interpreter, right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Maybe go through the peace filter kind of thing when he's interpreting.
It's a little. Hey, Stevie, it's a little bit off topic, but it still makes me laugh so hard. Do you remember the sign language interpreter during the funeral of Nelson Mandela? And he wasn't a sign language interpreter. He just made it all up.
You're kidding.
Do you remember this moment?
I don't remember that. Is that a YouTubeable moment?
Right.
YouTube it. It's too good.
Wait a minute. How did that happen?
I do not know how that happened. And then SNL did a parody of it, which was also very funny. I think it was what's the cast member who's been on there for forever, who's so funny. He was the one who did the parody of it. But in any case, I know it's off topic, but if you brought my mind to that moment, which was crazy that could have happened.
There's a guy who was one of Grace's judges at Miss Illinois, and he's remained a friend. He's coming to Grace's wedding in a month. Steve Phan, he's the Capitol Hill interpreter. He does the sign language for Capitol Hill, and wonderful guy. But I mean that's stuff that you want to do some good with. I can't believe Nelson Mandela had a guy get through the cracks on that deal, and that's terrible.
Well, Nelson Mandela was his funeral.
I know, but the family, but it's just like making fun of him. Somebody that did sign language said, wait a minute, what is he doing? That's not it. That's not right. Nuts. Crazy. All right, John Decker, great television, White House ace journalist. Appreciate it, and stay.
Always appreciate it, Stevie.
Stay in the country. Not excited if you go to Israel or anything. I think you need to.
Yeah, no, I don't have any plans to leave the country anytime soon. So I'll give you a heads up, but staying domestic and staying safe. You stay safe, Stevie, if you travel with the president.
I would think that would be the case, no question. Maybe do another. What do they call him? A gaggle when he comes out with his blue zip up or whatever he had on when he was.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw.
Maybe he'll do that.
If you saw that piece where he's talking and you got Anthony Blinken standing in the closet and John Kirby on. It looked weird. Just those guys and their eyes are wide open, like, oh crud, what do we have to cover for now? What is he saying?
By the way, the SNL guy was Kenan Thompson.
Kenan Thompson.
There you go. Thank you. I love that guy.
Oh.
That guy should never leave that show. He's
So funny. John Decker, we appreciate you. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You as well. That's John Decker, White House correspondent, national correspondent for Gray Television. GRAY. They have affiliates in Illinois, but not in Champaign yet.
Okay.
So. All right, ESPN 93.5. It's Thursday. Nathaniel Son coming up next with a look at Did You Know about the University of Illinois and stuff I didn't know. Stand by. We check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. You get a free analysis of your copy and needs. Color printing can be very expensive. Watts is local. They'll be happy to help you. Call Greg Wolf, Watts Copy Systems, where service is more than a promise.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and vicinity. Nice next couple of days anticipated weather-wise across the area. Temperatures back to and even a bit above seasonal norms. Bit of rain as we move on through the back end of the weekend, early next week as well. Mostly sunny, increasing south wind for the day-to-day. High temperatures up around the 54-degree mark. That south wind 12 to 22, but gusty in open areas this afternoon. Not so cold tonight, down to 36. Tomorrow, sun and clouds, healthy south wind. More seasonal highs at about 57. Over the weekend, we'll top into the low and mid-60s Saturday and Sunday. Next weather system may generate a few sprinkles around here. More clouds on Sunday. Don't forget that time change back 1 hour as standard time resumes 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. So Sunday high 63. We'll be into the low to mid-60s on Monday with our best likelihood of some shower activity across the area and about as cool down here into the middle and late parts of next week. A few sprinkles Tuesday at 54, 52 on Wednesday, near 50 next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, thank you, Greg. Brought to you by Busey for over 150 years. Busey, member FDIC. On Thursday, we have a little feature with my son Nathaniel. And to identify him better, I call him Nathaniel Son. He's in Chicago. Nathaniel Son, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming down last weekend and building a wall in our basement, putting in a door. And how did you get so handy? My gosh. Unbelievable.
Well, it's funny when I guess when you buy a house, you are presented with a lot of opportunities to work on stuff. And a lot of it I chose to do. I elected to do it. So I've just been able to learn along the way.
Well, let me also point out, you learned how to play a massive keyboard by going to YouTube, watching the guy play, and then playing it. I could never understand that either. He's brilliant. Takes after his mother and my wife. All right, Nathaniel Son, what do you know?
Well, this morning we're going to get to briefly discuss a topic that's near and dear to all of us who live in Central Illinois or are from Central Illinois, and that is the college that puts Champaign-Urbana on the map, the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Now, did you know that Illinois actually started out as Illinois Industrial University, and it was a child of something called the Morrill Act? Now, what the Morrill Act is it was named for a guy named Justin Morrill, who's a congressman from Vermont. He originally proposed and passed the bill, but it's also known as the Land Grant College Act, and it was legislation that would assist states in financing colleges that would specialize in agriculture and mechanical arts, which really became agriculture, engineering, and military science, which makes sense for Illinois. Now, this act was the result of a movement that really started in about 1840, when rural communities or families in rural communities sought access and opportunities for higher education. Now, in 1859, the act was actually approved by Congress, but it was vetoed by then-President James Buchanan. And it seems like the reason that this was vetoed is because of some of the tensions, as many of us may know, that were rising between the southern states and the northern states, which, as we all know, led to the Civil War starting in 1860. Now, 3 years later, the Morrill Act was redrafted, put back in front of Congress, and passed under President Lincoln in 1862. Now, when it was passed, though, the states that were part of the Confederacy were not originally included in the act. Those states were added later after the war ended. Now, a few of the schools that are a result of this act are really most of the Big Ten schools, except for Michigan. Otherwise, other schools are MIT, North Carolina, Clemson, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Auburn, and Florida, and a total of 69 schools resulted from this act.
Wow. And Illinois kind of struggled for a while, didn't they, when they first started, I guess?
They did, yeah. It seems like for the first about decade and a half, the university was just really struggling to get off the ground. And then when some new administrators took over, right around the turn of the 20th century is when it really started to, or got put on the map.
Wow, amazing. We've been around for a long time. You graduated in the 150th year, didn't you, Nathaniel? I think you did.
I did.
Yeah.
I did with my bachelor's.
Unbelievable. And then you got your master's right after that. Wow, okay, good stuff. And I think the congressman from, I think you said Vermont, Morrill, or M-U-R-R-I-L. Morrill. Is it M-U-R-R-I-L-L or something? I tried to look him up, but I got confused. It's not anything to do with the Morrill plots, which is M-O-R-R-O-W.
Right.
By the Underground
Library.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with that, but it sounded kind of the same.
It does.
Yeah.
They do sound similar, yeah, but no, they're not related.
All right, we learned something about the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. It wasn't always as easy as it is now we had a lot of muddy messes and stuff.
And the Land-Grant College Act really came to the rescue.
I don't think we would have been here without that. Nathaniel Son, well done on Did You Know?
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, talk next week. It's my son Nathaniel in Chicago. Nathaniel Son. Tip of the cap to the old movie Karate Kid. All right, ESPN 93.5, 7:56. It is Thursday. This is November 2nd. Hey, don't forget, when you go to bed Saturday, I'm giving you an extra hour's sleep.
Yes, thank you, Stevie.
Congress is doing that. I am happy we squeezed it, made it shorter, so we'll spring ahead in March.
Okay.
So it's only a few months.
Right.
And why we do it, debatable.
Right.
But we're doing it. So again,
and there's always this talk of when we're going to stop of that. But
I know. Every year. Hey, when I was young.
Right.
I get it.
Let's just go through the motions and get her done. And check the smoke detectors, too.
Check your batteries. You need the 9 volts. You don't have enough of those, so grab some of those. Go to Interstate Batteries. They've got packets of them.
Absolutely.
All right. So don't forget, Tuesday, 10:30, you want to come to the iHotel with me. I'll be there for the Stevie Jay Travel announcing of our 2024 schedule. We got a lot of great trips. We have a lot of great trips, and why not join us? I'm calling Sam today to see if I can get a deal to go to Houlihan's for lunch.
Sounds good.
Why not get a little off on your
And speaking
lunch?
of Houlihan's, tonight, Thursday evening, 6 to 8, they have a classical harpist that will be playing in the background.
Did you say harpist?
Harpist.
That's not easy to move those things.
I know.
You can't put that in a Prius. You can't put a harp in a Prius now.
6 to 8.
Wow, I want to go to that.
I know.
Harp background, come on, man.
My husband, Mike Anderson, asked if we could have a date night.
Well, why don't you put a tie on, Mike? That's a harp, man. That's a harp, man. Anyway,
I don't know about the tie.
iHotel, he can loosen it. iHotel tonight, it's patio play inside. A harpist would be 10 stars for me.
Nice.
It'd be awesome. All right, the news will be coming up next. Glad you're listening. You're always welcome to text in at 217-359-2255. Any thoughts along the way, feel free to share them. This is WSJK Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. Your news coming up next. It's 7:58.
Fleetwood Mac Rumors is coming to the Virginia Theater on November 15th.
Rumors of Fleetwood Mac, the world's finest tribute to Fleetwood Mac, returns to the stage at the Virginia Theater Wednesday, November 15th. Founding member Mick Fleetwood actually endorsed Rumors of Fleetwood Mac, channeling the spirit of Fleetwood Mac, performing hits like Go Your Own Way and Dreams and Rhiannon.
Get your tickets now at thevirginia.org.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars. They're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
400 Americans allowed to leave Gaza. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. They got approved today to cross into Egypt, along with other foreign nationals and wounded Palestinians.
These people have been waiting inside Gaza, trying to get out for weeks since the war erupted following that massacre in southern Israel.
Fox's Trey Yingst near the border.
The Israelis are using artillery units to hammer the area along the Israel-Gaza border. You can hear it there. This is active fighting that's taking place. They're likely trying to hit some of the tunnel entrances where fighters have been popping out and ambushing troops.
18 Israeli troops have been killed, while officials in Gaza say there are more than 9,000 dead Palestinians. The House could vote today to approve military aid to Israel, but not to Ukraine like President Biden wants. Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik tells Fox they worry about corruption in Ukraine.
The White House has not answered questions as to how those dollars are going to be spent.
There's another attempt today in court to block former President Trump from the 2024 ballot, this time in Minnesota, in addition to a hearing all week in Colorado. In both cases, they claim Trump's election fraud claims led to January 6th.
Critics say that Democrats began calling the 2021 Capitol riot an insurrection to use the insurrection clause of the Constitution to disqualify President Trump. And while some have been charged with sedition, not one J6 defendant, including the former president, has been charged with insurrection.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Donald Trump Jr. will testify his second day in New York. His brother Eric may take the stand, too, at the Trump Organization civil trial. The former president calls it rigged, claiming he's being railroaded by a Democratic attorney general, denying that his company committed fraud. Texas Rangers fans finally celebrating their first World Series title after a Game 5 win in Arizona.
We go into hostile territory everywhere we went, and, we just stayed calm, did our job, and, played the way we've played all year.
Pitcher Josh Spore's got the final World Series out in the Rangers 5-0 win on Fox. Texas set a Major League record 11-0 in the playoffs on the road. America's listening to Fox News.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower use for adults only.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Senator Tommy Tuberville getting some pushback from some in his own party to his crusade to block military promotions and nominations.
Republican senators tried to get 61 military members promoted, but were blocked by Senator Tommy Tuberville, the Alabama Republican refusing to stop his efforts to block military promotions over the Biden administration's military abortion policy. Alaska Senator Dan Sullivan says he opposes the policy that covers travel costs for military members who get an abortion, but believes the holdouts are hurting military readiness.
I've known these men and women for 30 years. There is growing bitterness within the ranks of our military.
Tuberville has argued the Biden administration abortion policy needs to be approved by Congress. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
We got news on unemployment this morning. First-time jobless claims rose last week to 217,000. That is a 7-week high, up 5,000 from the week before. Tomorrow we'll get the monthly report on how many jobs were created and the new unemployment rate. On Wall Street, stocks could rise. Futures are higher. Bob Knight has died.
And as Fox's Todd Pyra reports, he was a college basketball legend.
Coach Knight winning 3 national championships at Indiana, going to the Final Four 5 times. Of course, earning the nickname the General for his serious and tough personality and those fiery outbursts, including this infamous moment in 1985 when he throws the chair across the court. In 1994, Knight famously shared this memorable quote on how he wanted to be remembered.
When my time on earth is gone and my activities here are past, I want they bury me upside down and my critics can kiss my
Bob Knight was 83. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. American Red Cross announcing a series of blood drives throughout central Illinois to help hospitals restock on blood supply ahead of the holidays. Red Cross says it experienced a shortfall in donations throughout late summer and fall, but the need for blood lasts now and all season long, thanks to all who come out to give. Champaign police investigating after a swastika put on a tree in Mattis Park. The hate symbol discovered by a passerby early on Wednesday in the 600 block of Devonshire Drive. Anyone with information call Champaign police. Schools across the state finding out if their students are exceeding expectations or struggling to catch up following the COVID pandemic. This year's Illinois School Report Card shows some impressive high marks and concerning lows. State education leaders glad to see the highest graduation rates for Illinois students in almost 14 years. Way to go to the students and way to go to our area teachers. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. ESPN 93.5 into our 8 o'clock hour. We go with our meteorologist, Greg Solier.
Thanks for breakfast, Stevie. He brought in his extra Halloween candy, and I've had a few. Mr. Goodbar and Twix and Hershey's, all the chocolate stuff. I'm weeding it out of all that.
I didn't know we had chocolate stuff.
With a peanut butter cup chaser, right?
You ate all the chocolate stuff already?
I did.
I didn't know we had chocolate
Well,
stuff.
it's mainly sweet tarts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Lon likes all that, so that's good that you have that.
Well, I bought about, I don't know, I had 8 to 10 pounds of candy. That's a lot. And I was burning through that so fast. It was unbelievable. I thought the kids would stay home. It was so cold. They were out, man.
They were dropped off in your neighborhood.
Yeah,
all good.
It was all, but we had posses of 10, 15 people at a time. And just drop them in there.
Yeah, you'll find that everywhere around East Central Illinois, probably everywhere, that people have these full candy jars when you walk into businesses with all the leftovers.
Well, here's the disappointing videos I saw on some of the Ring doorbells. Are the people that left it out and the parents that would take it all. So they completely dump everything into their bags. They took everything.
It's so much for the honor system, huh?
That's so bad. It's just so
It
bad.
is.
It's a bad look.
It's just, and you're wondering why the kids don't have integrity.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, it's a bad example.
No kidding.
Not very good parenting.
Not good. All right, our meteorologist, Greg Solier. Countdown has begun. Grace gets married in a month. I got you on full 24/7 duty, bud.
Right.
So
that's right.
Little bubble
we
over
need you,
Philo.
buddy. We need you, dude. All right, so pretty good. So
early December, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Early December 2 is a Saturday. So the rehearsal on the 1st. So anyway, Greg, so you good looking next 5-10 days, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, and we talked about this, I think, when you first brought it up, that, if we're in this El Nino mode, we get these little, shots of cold and a little moisture from time to time, but the big ballyhoo systems typically are not found, at least into early winter around here. The main storm track is down south, and December around here, average typical normal highs, if you will, are somewhere around 37, 38 degrees. So if we can get in the 40s, then that's okay for December 2nd. So I still kind of thinking and leaning towards it. I think we'll be okay around here, and maybe even better than okay at that point, at least based on some of the longer range maps and charts. Our in-house technologies and methodologies around here. In the event, we'll keep you posted there, bud. Out the door this morning, 30 now. Willett in Savoy, 29 at Rantoul. Acceptable days worth of November 2nd weather. Sunshine, breeze picking up from the south. High temperature around 54. 36 tonight, partly partly sunny, windy, more seasonal typical highs tomorrow at 57 on a gusty south wind. But that wind helps to afford some drying and firming. By the way, drop monitor looking at it, gone. A couple of dry areas east of the Wabash, but we're in much better shape soil moisture wise. 45 here tomorrow night and up to 62 on Saturday. Couple sprinkles, 63 Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, a little spell or two of some rain. Maybe some rain here late next week as well. Daytime temps from 64 on Monday. Then we're back into low to mid 50s for highs next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm just Greg Soldier.
So you're trying to hire somebody, are you? Well, it's been tough. And my understanding, anecdotally, of course, talking to owners, it's gotten a little bit better.
Okay.
But it's an old story. We met online. We exchanged messages. I told some jokes, got some laughs. We agreed to meet, and we did. It was great. Hey, you stay in touch, I was told. Wow, I thought at long last we could have one. And then ghosting, nothing, right? Happens with everything. Dating, jobs, hiring expert, heads up my people person. It's a boutique recruiting. What's a boutique recruiting, Martha Reynolds?
Hi, good morning. I am a recruiter here in Dallas, Texas, and work with companies on a real close basis. I get to know my clients really well, and so it's a more boutique experience as opposed to a really large firm that maybe doesn't spend quite as much time with their clients.
So you figure out what's a good fit because you're really rolling up your sleeves and getting in there, which the big groups don't do that. So
right, it's a lot like dating, It's matchmaking.
Well, so how do you? And these days, I think it feels like it's like panning for gold. Hey, I found a nugget. I found one. I mean,
it is a lot like panning for gold.
And every place you go and everybody you meet, you're going, hey, you'd be good, fill in the blank, right? I mean, so you just got to meet a lot of people. You got to talk to a lot of people.
I do. That's what I do most of the time is talk to people and listen to their stories and what they're looking for. And it's been really challenging. I mean, the job market's been tight. I know here in Dallas, employers really struggle to find great employees.
Well, I mean, you got to, whoever's trying to hire somebody better come up with a good package because people do have choices. And if you actually find somebody that wants to make your business better, you hug them and don't let them go because it's just because first of all, we have a schedule. I don't know if you've seen some of the Instagram stuff where the girls are crying on their little post because they have to actually go to the office. And they, it's just things have changed since COVID. However it changes, it changes.
It does, and I saw that post with the girl crying because of the commute into her office every day. Poor thing.
Actually, I have to go in, and it's just I don't have time for anything. Who can date? I can't do that.
It definitely has changed, and it is very much an employee's market still. And so I think you do have to be careful on the employer side. Treat people well, get back to candidates, even if you're going to reject them if they're not the right fit for that role, do the courtesy of getting back to them so you keep that relationship because, you don't know what's going to happen down the road. Same thing with candidates. Even if you've got 4 or 5 job offers, be nice, considerate to the other people you're rejecting because you don't know what's going to happen down the road with your career, and it's important to keep those connections.
Absolutely. I would think there's benefits to the face-to-face. I know that we work with different businesses and help them with recruiting, and the messages you hear on the radio, you trust, and we really encourage people to try to get those appointments in so you can meet people right away.
Absolutely. I think, it is. It's just like dating. You really want to get in and get to know somebody. If you're a candidate, you want to be able to go in and, feel the culture and the vibe of the office. Make sure it's a good fit for you.
And I think you want who you're hiring, you got to get them engaged. You got to get them really excited about what they're doing. And I think making a difference in the world is a big deal right now to really feel significant, right? I mean, you want to have purpose of what you're doing.
Absolutely. It's one of the things that I hear most often from candidates why they're leaving their current job is because they don't feel like they make any sort of a difference. They don't feel like they're adding value, and people really want to do that. They want to be able to contribute and have the work they do in their life have meaning.
Okay, Martha, I'm sure you're having fun with this, but you must be at every single event in the greater Dallas-Fort Worth area finding people.
I feel like it, yeah.
Well, it's very creative and good thinking, and it works. I mean, you're able to match people up, Do you ever cringe when something doesn't work out? It must happen.
Oh, it does happen. And I have, candidates reject a job offer at the last minute and change their mind, and the same thing with employers, and it's tough.
Yeah.
Martha, how can people find you? Martha Reynolds.
Sure, Martha Reynolds. MyPeoplePerson.com is my website. Martha at MyPeoplePerson's my email. It's easy.
Listen, nice meeting you, and good luck with what you're doing. Love the creativity.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. From Dallas, Martha Reynolds is her name on the Tapman's Towing phone line. ESPN 93.5. All right. Good stuff.
Yep. And if you have a comment, 217-359-2255. We always love hearing about your response when it comes to hiring or getting hired. You know, a lot of the young people that I talk with aren't getting the proper fit, but I feel like they're inflating some of the, statistics and past
but I think, though,
things that they've done, and they don't know whether to use the high school stuff anymore. Is it just college? It's challenging.
But from the employee standpoint, they need to be genuinely hungry and try. From the employer standpoint, you got to make it something that has meaning. Right now, this generation, the 18 to 34s, want to go to work for a purpose. They want to make a difference. They want to feel like there's something going on with making a difference. And if you just got a normal kind of this is the job, I think you're putting their feet to sleep. I think they're just not going to do it.
Right.
Not long term.
Right.
All right, sports headlines.
Texas Rangers win the World Series. 5-0 was the final over the Arizona Diamondbacks. A shutout, 4-1. And all the road games they won. So that was a record, too. Wasn't it 11?
They won 11 in a row on the road.
On the road.
Nobody has ever done that in history of baseball. It is stunning. Stunning.
Crazy. Tonight we'll have the Tennessee Titans at Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. Well, the Bears in New Orleans Sunday at noon, if you want to take note of that. I know the Colts are in Carolina and LA in Green Bay. NBA action had Dallas over the Bulls 114-105. Boston over the Pacers 155-105. NHL action, the Avalanche over the Blues 4-1 yesterday. Locally, we're looking at our Fighting Illini volleyball team at 13-10 in the season and 8-5 in the Big Ten with their sixth straight win yesterday, 3-0 over Northwestern Wildcats. And we had Johnny Newton as one of 12 Lombardi Award finalists as a defensive tackle.
They got all these analytics and ratings. Johnny Newton is number one in the country with a 95, whatever the heck that means. Unfortunately, we won't see him in the first 30 minutes of the game against Minnesota. I can't explain it. I have real optimism about the football team finishing. I think we can get to 6. That would be stunning.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be exciting. And I don't care where we play a bowl. It's 15 extra practices, and we're on the map for 2 bowls in a row.
And we're also talking about the basketball team against EIU with the first game of the season on Monday the 6th. We've got Coach Brad Underwood on after 8 tomorrow here on ESPN 93.5.
Looking forward to that. Okay, so weird. We were talking about the iHotel and patio play tonight with the harpist.
Yeah.
And then what did I say about a harp? That's not easy to move.
Yeah.
Can't get that in a
That's
Prius.
right.
Well, Jared texted in, said, interesting fact, I actually know a classical harpist, and she actually drives a Prius, and I've seen her put it in there.
Oh, hey.
So shout out to the Prius for being able to hold a harp.
Okay.
And I know there are different sizes of harps.
Sure, and there's things you can do with the seat to get it
You put the
way
seats down, but
and...
still, to get that, that's impressive. All right, well, high five, Jared. Thanks for telling me. But the bottom line, and there's a harp at Houlihan 6 to 8 tonight.
That's right.
Who doesn't want to eat? Because you know why? Why I'm so fired up? Do you know why?
Why is that?
It's not too darn loud.
It's not.
It will be beautiful.
And it's like soothing almost.
I mean, harps are heavenly. It sounds so heavenly.
It does.
So there you go.
Jonathan Schneider is the classical harpist from 6 to 8.
I don't think that's easy to play that either.
$7 glass of house wine, other specials, a special menu right there at First and St. Mary,
All
unique
right.
date night.
We will come back with your Fox Business Minute and then another half hour of the program. Stand by. This is ESPN 93.5, our smoke show with Pitmaster Tim Onstadt. We've got him coming up in the next 15 minutes.
Sounds good.
Down the way here in a few weeks, we're going to talk about maybe a smoking Thanksgiving turkey.
Oh.
That'd be a cool thing to try.
I've never done that.
I have a smoker. We could try that. Or put it in the green egg or something.
Yeah.
Out of the box. I always put it upside down in a bag. because the juices fall.
Right.
And it's unbelievable.
One of my favorite Thanksgiving meals was the turducken, the turkey, duck, and chicken all together.
Man. All right, we'll check Greg. We'll be right back. ESPN 93.5, 819.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and this Saturday. And a moderating trend in temperatures getting underway. That'll take us into the weekend and early next week. The next cold front will drop temperatures down to a bit below average. And from time to time over the back end of the weekend and into next week, a little rain will fall, but nothing of major significance with back 40 and backyard work in mind. Mostly sunny for the day today. A bit of a breeze picking up out of the south as the day wears on. Not so chilly this afternoon either. Up to 54. A bottom out tonight at 36 under a partly cloudy sky. Tomorrow, partly sunny, windy, more seasonal highs at 57 on a south wind 15 to 25 miles per hour and gusty. Saturday, partly sunny, 62. Maybe a few sprinkles of rain early and late in the day on Sunday. Don't forget that time change before we retire. Saturday night, highs to about 63 on Sunday. Monday, have 64. A little rain at times. That'll carry into Tuesday at 54. Highs into the lower 50s next Wednesday and Thursday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There was little change in the number of people filing for unemployment benefits for the first time last week. New claims rose slightly to 217,000. However, there's a sign it may be a little harder for some people to find a new job. Continuing claims, those remaining on benefits, rose to 1.8 million. Another report found workers getting more done on the job in the summer quarter. Third quarter productivity rose to 4.7%. The monthly employment report is released tomorrow. The Bank of England today left its key interest rate unchanged after yesterday the Federal Reserve decided to pause interest rate increases. Six Flags and Cedar Fair will combine, taking the corporate name of Six Flags to compete with Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino, and this is Perino on Politics.
Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom, returns to Fox News Audio with a brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. Listeners of Everything Will Be Okay will be thrilled by the return of a familiar voice, but with a fresh spin as Dana guides audiences through the 2024 election cycle. Make sure you subscribe to this series wherever you download podcasts and leave a rating and review.
Fighting Illini football is back in Memorial Stadium for Dad's Day and Military Appreciation Day, Saturday, November 11th, as they take on the Indiana Hoosiers. Get tickets for as low as $20 as we celebrate dads for this proud Illinois tradition. All active military personnel are eligible to receive free tickets. Be in your seat early for a special military flyover. Illinois football versus Indiana, Saturday, November 11th. Get tickets and more info at fightingillini.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first, you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Stevie Jay here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
You've changed thousands of diapers, cut hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose, because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. The Brian Hansen State Farm Agency will make it easy and affordable to help protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you'd do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call me, State Farm Agent Brian Hansen in Champaign-Urbana today. For details, visit brianismyguy.com.
He's a Cardinal
Like a good
fan.
neighbor,
Oh, yeah.
State Farm is there.
He is. Brian Hansen is, in fact, Cardinal, and huge Illini fan.
Uh-huh.
All right, all our guests appear on the Tavin's Towing phone line. DSC Tree of Hope tonight.
The 30th annual kickoff celebration is this evening at City View. It's between 4 and 6. Aiden and I plan on attending, and I know we'll meet the new Spokes family for 2023 into 2024, Alex, Jessica, Rhodes, Forrester, and Avonlea Etheridge, and they'll talk about their journey. When we were the Tree of Hope family in 2006, Aiden wasn't meeting those benchmarks as a toddler and a youngster, wasn't rolling over, all these things that were just kind of a red flag to us as parents. And we had an in-home therapist, Judy Olam, who to help teach us about productive play. We had a networking group that we met with, and the kids would be in one room with therapists, and the parents could just, have a sounding board. It just meant so much to have Developmental Services Center part of my life also. So people talking about all of their personal achievements, like Joe Phillips is getting an award. There's a recognition of Sue DiFilippo, and Del Morrissey gets the Spirit of DSC Award. He's been there for decades and has retired now. The Employer of the Year is the Urbana-Champaign Independent Media Center. And so many people who want to hire people with disabilities and might have some jobs, like, for instance, Aiden is a bag guy at Schnucks, bagging groceries between 8:30 and 1:30 in Savoy. And that's really zoning in on his skill set of I can talk to people and say, have a nice day,
Yeah,
and put the,
right.
and, So if you wanted to do that sort of thing, they have a training for Developmental Services Center, and Maggie can set that up. There's 1,200 children and adults with intellectual or developmental disabilities or delays that get help from DSC each year. And that's why it's so important to support something like the Tree of Hope with that $50 contribution in this campaign that goes through the end of January, where each bulb is lit. They're at Market View and Prospect on those trees that you see over there in the corner at that traffic light. And you can help make a difference by going to dsc-illinois.org.
News Gazette has a big thing in sports today. Congratulations to the St. Thomas girls volleyball team, who came from behind to beat Bismarck Henning, Rossville Alvin last night.
Okay.
But it was hot and heavy. They lost the first, and in girls volleyball, you just win two sets. And so it was 18-25. They lost the first set, came back, won 25-21, and then closed out 25-14. Sectional champions, Muhammad Seymour.
Nice.
In girls volleyball. Very
well,
impressive.
STM's football team, I know it's 8-person, right?
Yep,
It's Ridgewood that they'll be playing as we have this Journey to State going on. SJO is playing Roxana Saturday at 3, and DeCoin will be at Unity at 2 o'clock.
Well, DeCoin is your number one seed. The Rockets are what were they? They were in the 8-9 game. They were
Right.
either so they hosted though. And DeCoin did not blow out Monticello. And Cully Walters out there at Monticello put up a great game plan, gave the number one DeCoin team who's undefeated. Undefeated, and yet Monticello gave him a good game. So we'll see if Unity can upset DeCoin, 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon.
Right.
And rooting for St. Joagden. And
I also mentioned STM.
Is that all we got in the area?
Well, Maroa, Forsyth.
Decatur.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, rooting for you all. Okay, be right back. The Smoke Show. My friend Tim next.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Make plans to pop into Pia's at 1609 West Springfield Avenue for happy hour from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday with 16-ounce drafts, just $3.25. Well drinks, $4. Taco Tuesdays, get you big tacos for $2.50. $2 off on tequila shots and margaritas, $5. Get Mexican beers for $4 each. Go south of the border on Tuesdays at Pia's. Then there's Whiskey Wednesdays and karaoke a few times a month on Fridays with $4 fireball shots. Pia's is the place to party any day of the week.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. At a closed-door fundraiser in Minnesota, President Biden calls for a pause in the fighting in Gaza to get Hamas captives out. More civilians, including Americans, are being allowed to leave Gaza into Egypt. We're told there are 400 Americans on that list. New York Republican George Santos, facing criminal charges, survives a vote to expel him from the House. The vote was 179 for expulsion, 213 against. That's far short of the two-thirds needed to remove Santos from Congress. He's facing 23 criminal charges, including wire fraud and identity theft. Toyota's recalling nearly 1.9 million $9 million RAV small SUVs in the U.S. The issue is a problem with batteries that can move during forceful turns and potentially cause a fire. Toyota says it's preparing a fix. America's listening to Fox News.
Mentioned Leroy still in the playoffs. That's kind of local. And Salt Fork for sure is close. About a half hour from where we are. So
Salt Fork's playing Saturday at 2 against Cesar Valier.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
go Salt Fork. Rooting for you as well.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois State Police releasing a video showing a state trooper being shot last week in Springfield. Police say the footage shows Cristobal Santana of Chicago pulling out a gun and firing shots at trooper Dakota Chapman Green during the stop. Santana then severely beat the trooper with a gun and drove away before being arrested. A couple of hours later, he's been charged with attempted murder. Several lawmakers in southern Illinois challenging the state's sanctuary status. Legislators sponsoring a bill that would repeal the Trust Act. House Republican floor leader Patrick Windhorst and State Representatives Dave Severin and Paul Jacobs issued a joint statement saying the Trust Act has been disastrous. They claim 628,000 undocumented immigrants reside in the state. Champaign police investigating after a swastika put on a tree in Mattis Park. The hate symbol discovered by a passerby early yesterday in the 600 block of Devonshire Drive. Anyone with information, please contact Champaign Police. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
When you're buying a battery, it's important to look beyond just the price and make sure you're buying a quality battery. So when you're buying one from the big box store, make sure you ask the question, what's the date on this battery? Is it dependable? Sometimes the big box stores have batteries that have been sitting on the shelf for years. Or you can just come to Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable, and buy your battery from the people who only do batteries. Interstate Batteries at 2504 North Madison, Champaign, way out there, but totally worth the drive. How much is dependable worth to you? Interstate Batteries open 6 days a week.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. Nice next couple of days anticipated weather-wise across the area. Temperatures back to and even a bit above seasonal norms. Bit of rain as we move on through the back end of the weekend, early next week as well. Mostly sunny, increasing south wind for the day today, and high temperatures up around the 54-degree mark. That south wind 12 to 22, a bit gusty in open areas this afternoon. Not so cold tonight, down to 36. Tomorrow, sunny clouds, healthy south wind. More seasonal highs at about 57. Over the weekend, we'll top into the low and mid-60s Saturday and Sunday. Next weather system may generate a few sprinkles around here. More clouds on Sunday. Don't forget that time change back 1 hour as standard time resumes 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. So Sunday high 63. We'll be into the low to mid-60s on Monday with our best likelihood of some shower activity across the area, and about as cool down here into the middle and late parts of next week. A few sprinkles Tuesday at 54, 52 on Wednesday, near 50 next Thursday and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Brad Underwood will join us tomorrow after 8 here on the program. Brad Underwood after 8 tomorrow morning. And I'm very honest about my feeling toward my sports teams, and I'm pretty fired up still for Illinois football. You tell me why. I have no idea. I think we're playing better, and I think we really have a shot to beat Minnesota up there, even though they're leading the West. But I don't think there's a nickel's difference in anybody in that last year of the West. Anybody, Illinois beats Wisconsin, we'd be in contention to win the West. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That's right.
I mean, we really, really would be. We had that game.
Right.
All right, so I'm optimistic that we have a real chance to beat Minnesota. If we do, we're back in the bowl hunt for sure. It's Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. We present this. And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever with award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Smoke in Tim's grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Yeah, he was at a real big-time competition, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And can I throw the red flag in? You got a perfect score from 3 judges in brisket, right?
No, in pork.
Oh, you got 3 perfect scores in pork. Perfect. So why isn't it? I'm throwing the flag. I don't get it.
Well, 3 other judges found something wrong.
Well, something's wrong. Wait. Something's wrong with them. Okay, something's wrong with you.
Well, Stevie, we loaded up the car like we were going to and went to Talladega when we should have stayed home and raced at Farmer City. It was a tough competition, and the judging was, I can't complain about it. It was fair. They found the things that we thought were wrong, and a few of them didn't, but some of them did. To put it into perspective, in Virginia, there were competitions in Virginia and Alabama this weekend also. If we would have went to those, our chicken and pork would not have finished out of the top 7.
Wow.
So it was...
You're just talking at such a level. It's very hard to understand how sophisticated and minute I only thing I can compare it to is a golfer. A PGA golfer can do anything he wants with that iron. He can move it around a tree. He can go up and down. He can make it stop in 2 bounces. I mean, it's just so high level of what you're thinking and what you're dealing with versus Stevie J trying to get within 20 degrees of the right temperature for my meat on my grill. It's just a different deal.
We're trying to get you there, Stevie. But the thing is, there are no excuses. I really, really messed up with the brisket, and it's things we've talked about on the show.
Really?
I made a bad meat choice. When I've got those 2 competition briskets in, I should have trimmed them right away. I took the wrong one to Pine Bluff. It had a bad fat vein in it that really hurt us and made it difficult to deal with in boxing. And I let it go too long to trying to get the ends to even up, and we were a little overcooked in the end, and it was just tough on us. So I made some mistakes.
I have never ever. I
would have eaten it, Tim.
Heck yeah, I would never have put together a bad fat vein in my life ever. Anyway.
It would have been good. It would have been good for tailgate or something like that.
Right.
But it just was not for presentation purposes. The flavor was there, but the presentation, it was just ugly.
Well, again, it's one of those that when you're in the high level deal, you're in the high level deal. So I guess the mistakes are illuminated at that level. But according to the Stevie Jay top barbecue people in the nation, Tim and Donna, number one right here, baby.
Yes, way to go on, Stas. Congratulations.
You got it.
Well, my pit crew did a great job. She didn't do anything wrong. It was all the driver. I messed it up. I screwed up in turn 4 and didn't get that brisket right.
Unbelievable. All right, so now what? What do you got the next one anytime soon, or are you done for a while?
Well, we're going to try to take a little bit of a break. We'll start up, maybe do a couple of practice cooks over the winter, start cooking competition again in March or April. But in the meantime, we've got a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
We've got Thanksgiving coming up. That's a fun time. We smoke turkeys, of course. And
what is oyster dressing? What is oyster dressing?
You've never had dressing with oysters in it?
I have not, sir. No.
You've been missing.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! And if you do your dressing on a smoker, your oysters in the dressing on a smoker, get that smoke flavor in there. It's a delicacy.
Really?
And I love it. But I'm gonna go through a little list here today. Get your things together so that next week we can talk about the process of how to smoke these turkeys. And we know if you wait till the last minute, the pickings are slim.
Yep.
So
yeah. All right. So what are you instructing me to get, sir?
A turkey.
Okay.
You want one in the 12 to 14 pound range. These 16 to 20 pound great big turkeys. Number one, most people don't have a smoker that can handle that size of a turkey. So you'll want a smaller one because it's going to sit in the danger zone of below 140 for kind of a long time. You don't want it to get bad on you.
Okay.
Smaller is better
okay.
because they cook more evenly too. So you want to get a turkey. You want to get you some poultry brine. It doesn't matter what kind. It's just some salts and sugars that soak into the turkey and help it hold flavor.
Okay.
Pick up some Tony Chachere's.
I am.
Okay. Go ahead.
Tony Chachere's injection.
Oh yeah, I like that.
There's a Creole butter that's a really good mild. It's got flavor to it, but it's got phosphates in it. Helps the turkey hold the moisture, and that's a key. There are different flavor here's your word, flavor profiles. You can put garlic and herb. He's got a spicy butter jalapeno, but you want to get something to inject in and get flavor, and in addition to the smoke, it complements the smoke into that turkey. You get those things together, get your smoker set up so that you're cooking with indirect heat, whether you're diffusing it with aluminum foil or you got aluminum foil on the grate so that heat's not coming directly onto the bird, it's going around it, and you're ready to go.
Okay, so we got our homework. We got to get this together next week. Tim will help us on putting that together. But
so you put the turkey on your grill.
Well, it'd be on the smoker.
Okay.
You need a smoker.
But, I mean, our grill has a lid on it.
Grill.
All right, Weber grill, but you put the coals outside and have the middle indirect, so it's not indirect heat, right? I mean, you wouldn't.
Right, and you're deflecting the heat around the bird, so it's coming up and circling on the side. Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know how to do a gas grill indirect. I guess you do 2 burners and the middle one's off or something like that. So.
Yeah, you can do that, and you can wrap the grill in foil so that you're directing that heat to an open spot at the end.
Okay.
Tim just knows everything about this thing, man. He's just nuts.
I might try this.
Well, I think
a lot of trial and error.
Well,
I
have a grill. I might do a 12 to 14. Usually, I get like the biggest turkey I can get. What's your feeling on frozen versus fresh?
Well, it doesn't really matter. It just takes, 2 or 3 days to thaw out a frozen turkey.
Okay. So if I get one of those 12 to 14s at the Aldi, I'll save some money. Then I'll thaw it properly 2 or 3 days.
Those are like $20 right now.
Yeah, they're real cheap.
Yeah.
And then you could definitely get that ready, and then I could.
Some people just want to do the turkey breast, and they can get those too.
Yeah.
And just smoke the breast, but I like the dark meat too, and it all if we can get it to cook even, then we got a good smoky bird.
You're the man, Tim. We're proud of you, my friend.
That's right.
And Dedicated Diesel, still got any Dixie choppers out there?
Yeah, I was going to say we need to get people over to see Andy and get those Dixie choppers bought and out of there while they're on the at the winter pricing. I mean, once we hit the fall and winter pricing, once we hit the spring, those things are going to be in demand and they're going to go, and the prices are going to reflect that. So
you can
get over there and make a deal.
You can literally save thousands of dollars on this thing, and it's like the fastest one ever built. It's amazing. You ought to go see that.
What's the address, Tim?
1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana.
It's Mockingbird Lane was Herman Munster's address, 1313. Come on, man. Hey, okay, we got that. And Gale Freights Trucking, you all full? You need a driver or two?
We could use one over-the-road regional driver, and I got to thank Gail and all the people at GFT that pitched in and helped us so that Don and I could do a workation for a week in Arkansas and follow a little bit of our passion, and they all did a great job while we were gone.
And where do you go to tap into being a future employee, and how do you reach out to GFT Trucking?
Just email me at timo@gftlog.com. or call 765-793-7131.
We got that if you need that repeated. Folks, thank you, Tim. You the man.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
You too. Tim Onstad over at Gale Freights Trucking, Dixie Chopper, and Dedicated Diesel, home of the Dixie Chopper.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, terrific. Great guy. He and Don are unbelievable at preparing, but they're they're in the major leagues.
That's right.
Of barbecue.
Barbecueologists.
8:45.
Are you tired of getting the short end of the stick and always being stuck with cold water for your showers? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing is here to help. With current tax incentives and rebates, you can save up to $900 on a high-efficiency tankless water heater, unlimited hot water, and saving on your energy bills. It seems like the best gift you could give your home. With the current promotion of 0% financing for qualified applicants, you can't afford not to call. 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Welcome to Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Hi, I'm looking for a refrigerator.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Oh, yeah, well, I just need a refrigerator. Don't need the whole store.
But you get it, the whole store.
My kitchen is only about this big.
You get me.
Hello.
All those delivery, installation, and service technicians in back.
Wow, all those people?
The Dick Van Dyke 5-10-year protection plan, which means in the unlikely event something goes wrong in the first 5 years, your repair cost is nothing.
Nothing?
10 years parts coverage on the major components.
Looks like I'm getting more than a refrigerator today. How much does this whole store cost?
Nothing. Come on. For real. We guarantee to beat any competitor's deal, all that other stuff we talked about, like our service tax.
And your 5-10-year protection plan?
All included.
I'm Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. And when we say you get the whole store, we mean the whole store. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Looking for a place to host a corporate meeting, intimate gathering, or a large-scale celebration? If so, the University of Illinois' Alice Campbell Alumni Center offers the perfect space and staff to make your function a success. A few rooms offered at the center include the Elegant Ballroom, the Richmond Family Gallery, and the Premier and Professional Executive Boardroom. For more information on renting a space at the Alice Campbell Alumni Center, visit uiaa.org/alumni-center or call 1-800-355-2580. Go Illini!
During challenging times, family and health come first. This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. Many of us have spent the past year feeling a little bit out of control. There are steps you can take to help plan for a better financial future. Now is the time to take action and create a financial plan that's right for you. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less. Jeremiah 29:11 states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." What a comfort we have in this passage, as the Lord is telling Jeremiah, I care for you and will take care of you. If you are in despair and think you have no hope, pray to the Lord for guidance. See how your life can be changed and the lives of those around you. This message brought to you by the Blossom Basket Florist.
Elevate your exfoliation game with Merle Norman. Say goodbye to dry, patchy, rough skin with the advanced exfoliating charcoal scrub. It's packed with detoxifying charcoal and mineral-rich volcanic sand for fun, gritty, at-home, microdermabrasion-style facial treatment that results in an instantly polished, more visibly radiant complexion. Get instantly nitty-gritty, pretty skin with Merle Norman's exfoliating charcoal scrub. Available now at Merle Norman.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan in place, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Saturday, November 18th for one night only at the Virginia Theater. Come out to the red carpet world movie premiere of the family-friendly comedy Irresponsible, starring Keith Campton. Parts of the movie filmed right here in our town and features dozens of local actors. Come and meet all the stars of the movie and ask questions, get pictures, and free autographs. Doors open at 6 p.m., showtime at 7. Virginia Theater, November 18th. For more information, go to thevirginia.org, thevirginia.org. Ladies and gentlemen, Dale Morrissey, formerly the head of DSC, now retired and probably looking younger than ever. He is the Spirit Award winner for DSC Tree of Hope tonight. Dale, congratulations!
Well, thank you, Stevie. I appreciate it very much.
What were the years that you worked with Developmental Services Center, Dale?
Well, I started in, believe it or not, March of 1979, almost 45 years ago, and I was there for 41 years, and
wow.
Still continue to volunteer, and my heart's still there.
And you're still sitting in trees and hunting season, all that stuff?
Oh, yeah. I had to take this morning off for this award tonight, but yes, hunting and pickleball and keeping busy, and, of course, continuing to volunteer with DSC, and life's good. Really good.
That's unbelievable.
What is it that gives you this Spirit Award and gives you the edge over other people and gets you just so passionate about Developmental Services Center, Dale?
You're breaking up a little bit on me there, but I think you asked this. Well, I think the Spirit Award's the first award they've ever given out, and my opportunity tonight is to really recognize those individuals that started DSC, the parent before DSC in the early 1960s, the parents and siblings and relatives who dreamed that there's a future for the persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities, that they could reach a more rich and full life and their maximum potential. And, you know, I guess I sort of see myself as a little bit of that bridge that's got them to where, you know, helped get there and where we are now and to go into the future. And to hopefully there'll be a few of those siblings there tonight to get their recognition for really getting this going.
Awesome.
Congratulations, Dale Morrissey.
Thanks
You're the
for
man.
all the great work you've done.
We really appreciate you, and you sound fantastic, my friend.
Well, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I appreciate your continued support of DSC.
You betcha. Dale Morrissey, Spirit Award winner for DSC.
Everybody needs insurance, and that's why I love Kyle Lewis at Insurance Providers Group. This is Jay Lehman, All-American linebacker. Kyle provides auto, life, health, and all kinds of commercial lines of insurance. They are my one-stop shop for all my insurance needs, and all my rental properties are insured by IPG. That's why you need to email Kyle at IPGINS.com. Kyle at IPGINS.com.
Are you tired of getting the short end of the stick and always being stuck with cold water for your showers? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing is here to help. With current tax incentives and rebates, you can save up to $900 on a high-efficiency tankless water heater, unlimited hot water, and saving on your energy bills. It seems like the best gift you could give your home. With the current promotion of 0% financing for qualified applicants, you can't afford not to call. 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. And a moderating trend in temperatures getting underway. That'll take us into the weekend and early next week. The next cold front will drop temperatures down to a bit below average. And from time to time over the back end of the weekend and into next week, a little rain will fall, but nothing of major significance with back 40 and backyard work in mind. Mostly sunny for the day today. A bit of a breeze picking up out of the south as the day wears on. Not so chilly this afternoon either. Up to 54. A bottom out tonight at 36 under a partly cloudy sky. Tomorrow, partly sunny, windy, more seasonal highs at 57 on a south wind 15 to 25 miles per hour and gusty. Saturday, partly sunny, 62. Maybe a few sprinkles of rain early and late in the day on Sunday. Don't forget that time change before we retire. Saturday night, highs to about 63 on Sunday. Monday, I have 64. A little rain at times. That'll carry into Tuesday at 54. Highs into the lower 50s next Wednesday and Thursday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Always a pleasure to talk about Donnie up at Long Branch Steakhouse here in beautiful downtown Gifford. Well, you know what, friends? It's never too early to make your Christmas party reservations at the Long Branch Steakhouse in Gifford. They are taking party reservations for December. 2 nights already gone. Don't be left out this year. If you want a fabulous night at the Long Branch for your office party, get it done now. Connect with the Long Branch Steakhouse and book your Christmas party. Long Branch Steakhouse, beautiful downtown Gifford.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Hi, it's Stevie Jay. So I took my mom into Audubell, owned by Jeff Hanley, who owns 13 locations around central Illinois. She's had so much trouble hearing for so long.
I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weaver.
Audibel for hearing. And some of the new technologies, they've got AI now for some of these hearing aids, and they're virtually invisible. It's unbelievable, and it helped my mom. It helped her incredibly. We've been to other places. This is by far the best place I've ever been in for hearing help. Go to audibelteam.com. That's AUDIBEL. If you want more information about Audubell and how Jeff Hanley and his amazing culture and amazing team that they have, go to audibelteam.com. That's AUDIBEL, audibelteam.com. You'll be so happy you found Audubell. Amazing work. They got a location in Champaign. Go to audibelteam.com. That's audibelteam.com. All right, Diane, we shall return tomorrow. Coach Brad Underwood will be on after 8 with us.
Yes.
Brother Johnny joins us back in New Orleans.
I wonder if he had any interactions with Bobby Knight, who passed away at the age of 83 now.
I don't know. I'd be interested to get his take.
Right.
All right, we thank you.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J on WSJK Tuscola, Champaign, Urbana. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a great Thursday.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Fighting Illini football is back in Memorial Stadium for Dad's Day and Military Appreciation Day, Saturday, November 11th, as they take on the Indiana Hoosiers. Get tickets for as low as $20 as we celebrate dads for this proud Illinois tradition. All active military personnel are eligible to receive free tickets. Be in your seat early for a special military flyover. Illinois football versus Indiana, Saturday, November 11th. Get tickets and more info at fightingillini.com.
When it comes to skincare, using the Cleanse Tone Moisturized System is a must. When you start seeing discoloration, fine lines, uneven texture, it's time to pull out the heavy hitters. Merle Norman's High Performance Serums. Power up your skincare regimen with these super concentrated formulas that target specific concerns and boost all benefits for your current skincare. Targeted, powerful, proven. Find your perfect serum today at Merle Norman, 706 West Market View Drive in Champaign.
Here's what one shopper said about Pard's Western Shop in Urbana, 306 North Maple, between Maine and University. He said, sure, you can find boots at some big box stores, but nothing like Pard's selections. They're unique, they're local, and they have an excellent store. So many people that visit Pard's in Urbana say the same thing. Pard's in Urbana, 306 North Maple, you can find the best boots in the world and shop local. Visit